Hey, it's me, naturally Stacey Stace, and welcome back to my Make-A-Wish audiobook. I just wanted to say thank you to all of you lot who have been listening to my audiobook, and I hope you're enjoying it. And I also want to say thank you to all of those who have subscribed to my channel. It's much appreciated. I hope you're enjoying Make-A-Wish. I'm just going to recap again for you what's been happening in the last few chapters. So Shanika was run off the road by a guy named Tyrone, who turned out to be her new boss at work. Then it was her birthday and she made a wish 3 times, which no, I haven't said what the wish is yet, and I don't think you will find out until right at the end of the book anyway. So keep listening to the audiobook to find out what the wish is. Shanika has then had, I think, just one more run-in with Tyrone where he shouted at her son for getting mud on his car. And then in the last chapter, she then kind of started to like him a bit. And Shanika has also become friends with her new next door neighbour Ryan. There will be more to their storyline coming up soon. So get your snacks and everything, as I always say, and sit back and relax and listen to my audiobook, Make-A-Wish. Look, I gotta go. See you tomorrow. He runs down the stairs and out the front door. I guess he's not that bad, I say to myself as the kettle comes to a boil. Chapter 5. Leah was telling me about your new boss earlier on. My mum is saying down the phone to me later that night. I've just finished putting Tashawn to bed and Leah's gone home. I'm in the sitting room by myself watching the end of Coronation Street, lying on my sofa. She told me that you didn't like him. Well, I didn't, but I kind of do now. I was wondering how you couldn't have liked him when she made him sound so nice. I mean, I know you two started off on the wrong foot and he shouted at Tashawn, but he sounded pretty nice to me when Leah was talking about him. Rich, good-looking, unattached. It's a shame she snapped him up first. She hasn't snapped him up, I thought. They're just dating, and like I said, I like him now. I flick the TV over as Coronation Street ends. Yeah, well, make sure you're nice to him. He's your new boss, remember? He could sack you if he wanted to. I roll my eyes skywards. I'm pretty sure he can't. So what made you change your mind about him? She asked through a muffled mouth. It's 8 p.m, so I'm guessing she's having her usual night snack of a hot drink and cake. Well, I guess he apologised twice, and then today he gave me a lift home when he saw me walking back from the shops in the rain. Oh, see? He is nice. Yes, Mum, I thought, turning the TV over again. Now can we change the subject? Fine. Tell me about this other guy Ryan that Leah's been going on about. I let out a big sigh. That Leah is such a blabbermouth. Okay, I make myself comfortable. It's 8 p.m. by the time I get off the phone to my mum. I hide it down the side of the sofa so I don't hear it if or when she calls back. It's not that I don't like talking to my mum, I do. Just not when she's bugging me about who I like and who I'm dating, which is usually nobody. And then she goes into a big lecture about how I need a father figure for Tashawn, as if he doesn't see his dad. He goes round to his house whenever he wants to. I don't keep them apart. But still, to my mum, it's not enough. He needs a permanent male figure to be with, to teach him how to be a proper man. I don't see why. I didn't see my dad that much when I was growing up. He left my mum for another woman when I was 4, and I'm not really that bothered. I turned out alright. Not that I really need a father figure being a girl, but still, I don't need him and never will. I sink back into my sofa and think about Ryan. How nice it would be to date him, and how he would be with Tashawn. So sweet and caring, teaching him things and playing football with him. Ugh, I hate it when my mum's right. Monday, I arrive at work 10 minutes early with no car trouble. In other words, no Tyrone trying to kill me or ram me off the road. I enter the office. Hey guys, I say to Lisa and Jonathan as I take off my jacket and sit down. I didn't go for my smart business look today, just my normal office wear. I chose my black tennis shoes, grey and pink plaid trousers, and a cream shirt. Where's Tyrone? I get up and peer across the room into his office window. He hasn't arrived yet, Lisa informs me, already busy at work. Why do you want to know? Jonathan grins, looking up at me from his computer screen. No reason, I reply, sitting down, just being nosy. As I switch my computer on, I hear one of the lifts outside the office ping and watch as Tyrone makes his way into the room in a crisp grey suit. Morning everyone, he nods, carrying his leather work bag and a hot drink from Greg's. Morning, Shanika. He walks past my desk and I give him a little smile, then he disappears into his office and shuts the door. Ooh, Neeks, Jonathan teases. What's going on between you and Mr. Flashy Pants? He swivels over to Lisa and nudges her. Nothing, I tell him. What do you mean? Morning, Shanika, he mimics Tyrone in a deep voice. I laugh. You're crazy. There's nothing going on. And I don't call him Mr. Flashy Pants anymore. Jonathan and Lisa look at each other in amazement, then back at me. Did you fall and hit your head? Jonathan asks. Or did someone try and kill you again this morning, making you jump out of your body into someone else's? Lisa adds. I shake my head at their nonsense and put my headset on as the phone rings. I press the answer button. Good morning, Body Beautiful. Shanika speaking, how may I help you? I chime down the line, as I always do about 50 times a day. Shanika speaking, how may I help you? A female voice copies me back. Shut up, Leah, I tut. What do you want? Where's your screwdriver? I need to put up some shelves. I can hear her opening and closing doors and assume she's in my flat. I gave her a spare key ages ago when I first moved in for emergencies, but now she just comes and goes whenever she wants and thinks that her running out of peanut butter or any other food is an emergency or good enough reason to enter my home whether I am there or not. It's in the hallway cupboard, in the tin, I say to her. Right at the top. Why? What shelves are you trying to put up? Those ones that I brought from IKEA to put in my cupboard for my shoes. Are you sure you know how to do that? I ask, half joking but quite serious. How dare you? Of course I do, she tuts. Oh, I found it. Now, tell me, is Tyrone in yet? Yes. And what's he wearing? Clothes. What kind of clothes? She asks, irritated. A suit, I tut. Does he look good in it? I don't know, I wasn't looking. I shift in my chair because I was, and he does. Oh, you're useless. I hear her leave my flat and go into her own. What's the point in you working there if you're not keeping a proper eye on him for me? She breathes down the phone. I don't work here for your benefit, Leah. I work here to pay my bills. Now come off my phone. She cracks up laughing and says goodbye. Shanika, can I see you in my office for a minute, please? Tyrone asks, leaning out of his office. Sure. I get up, taking the headset off and going over. He holds the door open for me and I enter. Take a seat. He gestures to a chair opposite his desk and shuts the door. Is there a problem? I ask, sitting down in the green fabric chair. No, not at all. I just asked you in here to see if you're alright. He sits down opposite me and leans back in his chair. Yeah, I am, I answer, a little confused. Why wouldn't I be? No, I was just checking you were okay because of last night when you were out in the rain. I just hope you didn't catch a cold and come in sick today. Oh, no, I'm fine, nothing to worry about. We sit there in silence and I make a face to say, is there anything else I can help you with, while waiting for him to speak. So how's Leah? He finally says. Oh, she's alright. She was actually just on the phone asking about you. Really? What was she saying? He looks at me blankly, not giving away any feelings that he may have towards her. Just that she had a great time with you on your date and to see how you were. Well, I couldn't exactly tell him that she was just calling to see what he was wearing and how fit he looked in it, could I? Well, I enjoyed our date too, he nods, not with much enthusiasm. I nod back. Well, that's all. He sits upright. You can get back to work now. I get up and leave, wondering what that was all about. What did he say? Jonathan interrogates me as soon as I sit down at my desk. Nothing. He called you into his office to tell you nothing. He raises an eyebrow at me. And it took him almost, 3 minutes? Does he have a stammer that we don't know about? I laugh. Look, if you must know, he called me in to check if I was okay. What for? What happened to you? Nothing much. I was just walking home in the rain yesterday and Tyrone saw me and gave me a lift home. So he just wanted to make sure I wasn't sick from being in the rain. I don't believe it. Lisa stops typing. You got in a car with Mr. Flashy Pants, and you actually spoke to him after you hate him so much. Hated him so much, I correct her. What's the big deal anyway? I look at them both. They say nothing. Exactly. There's no big deal. I smile to myself. That shut them up. He's done all his homework and I gave him a little snack. My mum informs me after work when I go to pick up Tashawn. Monday to Thursday, my mum collects Tashawn from school for me and brings him home to her house until I finish work at 5. On Fridays, I finish early so I get him myself. Okay, Mum, I nod, putting his coat on him and taking his book bag. Thanks. How was work? She asks, leaning against her hallway wall. All right, same as usual, I shrug, taking Tashawn's hand. And you got on with Tyrone? Yeah, he was nice and we had a little chat. How was your work? I changed the subject. Crazy as always. Monday's always the worst days. Kids not wanting to be back at school, they're tired, and then they have to get into the swing of things again after being away for the weekend. Well, you're only there half days anyway. At least you get a break. Those poor other teachers. She gives a little laugh and opens the door for me and Tashawn. See you tomorrow, she waves as we leave and get into the car. Bye, Tashawn and I shout. I beat my horn as I drive off towards my home. When I reach my flat, I knock on Leah's door to see how she got on with putting up her shelves. And no, I don't have a key to let myself in. I know, don't say it. She opens the door wearing baggy jeans and a jumper and looks at me shocked. Shanice, what are you doing here? What are you talking about? I ask her. She obviously left one of the most important screws loose when she was putting up the shelves. The one in her head. I thought you would have been getting ready for your date with Ben. I thought you said that he rang you earlier to confirm your date at 6:30 and you said okay. I still can't believe you're going out with him though. Oh, sugar. I hit myself on the head. I forgot. In the end, I told Ben that I would go out on a date with him, but not for long because I had to get back home early to go to work the next day, and I didn't want to hurt his feelings by not going. I just came by to see your shelves. Did you do them? Her face brightens into a smile and she stands up tall with her chest out. Yes, I did. All by myself? Really? Let me see. She leads me down her hallway that hasn't been decorated since she moved in a year before me and opens the cupboard door to show me 4 slightly crooked shelves. Wow, I clap. Good for you. But you should have borrowed my spirit level to get them straight, not trying to put your good work down or anything. I don't mind, she shrugs. As long as they stay up when my shoes are on them, it's all good. True, I laugh and go back to my front door. Well, I guess I better get myself ready for my date then. I open the front door and let Tashawn in. What about Tashawn? Leah shuts her front door and follows me into my flat. I guess I'll have to take him back to my mum's. I throw my bag on my bed and take off my shoes. Don't know why I agreed to a date on a work night. No, don't do that. I'll look after him for you. Saves you having to wake him up when he falls asleep at your mum's. Are you sure? I question her, rifling through my wardrobe for something to wear. Yeah, no problem. I love my Tashani Wani. Well, if you're sure, I shrug, but he hasn't eaten yet and I don't have time to cook. Or actually, I'll go and get us some chips. I grab my bag and put my shoes back on. Okay, Leah replies. Tashawn, I'm just popping out to get us some food, I shout to him running down the stairs. Leah's there with you. Can I come? He runs and leans over the banister. No, darling, I'll be back in 5 minutes. I get in my car and drive off towards the chip shop. As I stop at a red light, I take out one of my Jagged Edge CDs and put it in the CD player. They Ain't J.E. booms loudly through the speakers and I lower it down as the light turns green. I make my way over the road just as a black car comes from my left, running the red lights and crashes into the side of my car. I scream in fright and grip the steering wheel so tight I swear I leave finger indentations. I sit there for a while as some cars drive around me, not caring that I've just been hit and could be dead, and the other driver finally gets out of their car. I check to make sure that I'm not hurt and do the same. Not really, to my surprise, the person coming over to the side of the car is a man, and not any man, but Tyrone. I don't believe this. I throw my hands up in the air. When he gets over, this time I really let him have it. As soon as he reaches my car, I start swearing at him about how stupid he is and how he obviously doesn't know the highway code if this is the second time he's tried to kill me. He keeps trying to tell me to calm down and asking me if I'm alright, but I'm so angry I continue to swear at him and try to stop myself from punching him in the face. And obviously I'm alright if I'm shouting at him all up in his face. I lean against my car and take a few breaths as I try to calm down. Not because Tyrone is telling me to, but because if I don't, I'm really going to hurt this guy. He puts a hand on my shoulder and tells me to take slower breaths. I shrug his hand off violently. Look, I know you're really mad at me at this moment, he says, slightly nervous. But I think we need to move our cars out of the middle of the road. We're causing an obstruction. I hear a beep as someone drives past and I let out a long big sigh. I get in my car to move it as Tyrone does the same and follows me off the main road onto a quiet street. I park my car, get out and see what damage he has done. There's a big dent over my front passenger side tyre and bumper and a few scratches. Great. How am I going to pay for this? I cry to myself. It's kind of funny how we keep running into each other like this, isn't it? Tyrone gives a little laugh as he comes over. He cannot be serious. I'm really going to smack this guy. I give him a dirty look and he stops smiling. Are you okay? He asks seriously. You didn't hurt anything, did you? No, you didn't hurt anything. I'm fine. Good. I'm really sorry. Seriously, Give it up, Tyrone. I cut him off. I've had enough of you and your I'm sorry, seriously apologies. Why do you keep on doing these stupid things? Overtaking, running a red light. You're not going to get to your destination any quicker. Is that how you always drive? I don't want to hear it. I put my hand up and pace up and down. I feel like I'm in some weird movie. This just doesn't seem real. I feel the anger rising up inside of me again and I let out a scream and kick my car tyre. I actually hurt my toes in the process, but hold back the tears in front of Tyrone. Are you okay? He asks, noticing me wincing. I said I don't want to hear you, I snap. Okay, but I just want to let you know that I'll pay for you to get your car repaired. I turn to him all ears, no matter how much it is. I stifle a I should hope so and get out my mobile. Here, you can use my phone if you like. He hands me his mobile. No thanks, I push his hand back. I'll use my own. I call Leah and wait for her to pick up. Some idiot has just crashed his car into me, I tell her, And that idiot is Tyrone, I glare at him. Yes, Tyrone, I reply to her shocked voice. Yes, I'm okay, but I obviously won't be coming back with the chips yet, or going out on my date. You were going out on a date tonight? Tyrone asked, looking at me. Don't tell Tashawn what happened, I ignore him. Just tell him I'll be home soon. Yeah, I'll ring him and cancel. Okay, thanks, bye. I put my phone away and turn to get into my car. Where are you going? Tyrone asked, holding my car door open. Don't we need to swap details? You know where to find me. I start my engine with Tyrone still holding my door. Don't you want to get to the hospital to see if you're okay? He asks. No, I would like to leave now, I tell him, putting on my seatbelt. What about me paying for your car? When I find out how much it's going to cost to get it fixed, I'll let you know. Now can you shut my door, please? I put the car into gear. What about your date? I'm sorry for ruining that for you. I can pay for you to take a taxi to it instead. That won't be necessary, I say, grabbing the car door and shutting it myself. Tyrone knocks on my window. Oh my gosh, this man. I check the road in my blind spot and drive off down the street with Tyrone disappearing into a little dot in my rearview mirror. I go straight home forgetting about the chips and into my flat. Where's the chips, Mummy? Tashawn asks as soon as I get upstairs. Oh, the shop was shut. I lie. I don't want to tell him that I've been in a car crash. But it's always open at this time. He looks at me confused. Tashawn, why don't you go and watch some TV? Leah leads him into the sitting room and then takes me into my bedroom. We sit on my bed. What happened? That stupid idiot Tyrone crashed into me, I say calmly, then get angry. Why is he trying to wreck my life? Since he's come along, he's been nothing but trouble. I can't stand him. Okay, calm down, Leah shushes me. Tell me exactly what happened. He crashed into me, I tut. Is she deaf? Okay, I know that. She puts an arm around me. But how? He ran a red light. Mr. Flashy Pants doesn't know that the highway code applies to him too. He thinks he's so much better than everyone else that he can just do whatever he wants. No, that's not true. Leah starts to defend him. He's a really nice guy. You two just seem to keep having really bad incidents occur. I don't know why, she says, confused. Whatever, Leah. I ignore her, taking off my shoes. She's obviously blind and can't see what he's really like. I'm going to make some dinner. I get up. No, don't. You've just been in a car crash. You might be hurt. Relax, let me do it. I sit down and sigh. Have you seen my car? I ask her. No. It's got a dent over the passenger side tyre, but he's going to pay for it. She nods and leaves the room. I can hear her asking Tashawn what he wants to eat and him opting for chips and chicken nuggets. I'm so glad he wasn't in the car. I would have been even harder on Tyrone if he was. Imagine how scared Tashawn would have been. That's twice now. He's so lucky. My doorbell rings and I get up. I'll get it, Leah shouts and runs downstairs. I go out into the hallway to see who it is. Oh, Leah, you're here, I hear Tyrone's voice say. Oh, for heaven's sake, won't this guy just disappear already? I hear Leah explain to him that she lives in the downstairs flat, then invites him upstairs. What's she doing? I stand at the top of my stairs with my face unhappy and my arms folded. What are you doing here? I ask Tyrone, holding back my rage. I brought some chips. He holds up a carrier bag. I heard you say you were going to get some, but then you just drove off and went home. So I got it for you? Well, you can keep it, I snub him. Shanika, Leah tarts, taking the bag off him. Thank you, Tyrone, she smiles. I don't want the chips, I stop Leah as she tries to get past me. Give them back to him. But what about Tashawn, she points out. He needs to eat. She's right, I roll my eyes. It's already later than he would normally have dinner. I move out of her way. I'll pay you for the chips, I tell Tyrone, still angry. How much were they? As I walk off to get my purse in my bedroom, he follows me. You don't have to, it's on me, he replies. How much were they? I repeat, taking £7 out of my purse. I don't know, about £5 or £6, he shrugs. Well, here's 7. I shove the money into his hand and point to the door for him to leave. The door's that way, I tell him. He turns around to leave, then stops in the hallway. Shanika, I don't want your money, he protests slowly, looking at me. I just wanted to come and say sorry about what happened and to check if you're okay. And to give you the chips. Well, you've done that now, I barge past him. Now you can leave. Tashawn comes out into the hallway. Who are you talking to, Mummy? He asks, then notices Tyrone. Oh, him. Hey there, little man. Tyrone bends down and smiles at him. I've got a present for you in my car to say sorry for shouting at you the other day. Let me go and get it. Tyrone goes downstairs out the front door and turns with a big bag. He hands it to Tashawn. Here you go. I was actually on my way here to bring it to you before I bumped into your mum. He looks at me apologetically. What do you mean bumped into her? Tashawn asks. We had a car crash about a few minutes ago, but everything's alright, your mum's fine. But I did accidentally put a dent in her car, he makes a sad face. You crashed into my mummy's car? Tashawn looks at me worried. Yes, but it's okay. We've sorted it. Open your present, Tyrone says. I look at Tyrone and he smiles at me. I don't know what he's smiling for, telling my son about the crash and how we've sorted it out. We haven't sorted out anything apart from him paying for the damage, and that's as far as it's going to go. I don't want to sort any other things out with him. The further away he stays from me, the better. And safer. Oh wow, Tashawn jumps up and down. Look, Mummy, look what he got for me. He shows me a big box with remote-controlled car picture on the front. It's a monster truck, isn't it cool? Yeah, I force a smile. What do you say? Thanks, Tyrone, he hugs him. No worries, dude, he laughs and stands up. I'm going to play with it now, Tashawn runs off into the sitting room. It probably needs charging, Tyrone shouts after him with a big smile on his face. I look at Tyrone with the opposite expression. Next time, don't buy my son something to get into his good books. I would give it back, but I don't want him involved in our business. He might not be able to see what you're really like, but I can, and buying gifts or flashing your cash around ain't gonna make me forgive you. What? I only bought it because I really wanted him to see how sorry I was for shouting at him, Tyrone defends himself. I wasn't trying to flash my cash around or anything like that. Believe me, he starts to get angry. I don't know why you have this perception of me as being a hotshot or a flashy pants as you call me, but I'm neither one of them. Leah passes by and goes into the sitting room with 3 plates of chips and sausages. I'm just a nice guy who's trying really hard here to show you that you have the wrong impression of me. Although I don't know why, your mind's already made up and you're obviously not going to change it. He stares at me for a while. When you find out how much it's going to cost to repair your car, let me know. That's if you don't mind me flashing my cash around. He stares at me. I say nothing. Bye Leah, bye Tashawn, he shouts and leaves. I stand there dazed as he shuts the front door. Why does he always make me feel like I'm the bad one? I ask myself. I can feel my heart beating quite hard. He left? Leah asked, standing behind me. Is everything sorted out now between you guys? Yeah, it is, I answer, as long as I never have to speak to him again. Okay, so that Tyrone really makes me laugh. Please feel free to let me know what you think about Tyrone and Shanika's situation in the comment section, or just give it a thumbs up if you're enjoying the book so far. Make sure you come back next Sunday at 8 PM to see if Tyrone gets himself into even more trouble. Thank you for listening. Bye.